Good afternoon. All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to the October monthly Community Coalition meeting. My name is Tracy Parsons. I facilitate these meetings each month. And I just want to say and start off the meeting by saying thank you to all of you for what you do in our community to make it be the best that it can be. It's so easy to find the negative and focus and start and stay there, right? But it takes the real work for the community to come together and address these really tough, complex social and economic issues. And that's what we do here through the Community Coalition. We meet monthly, always the second Wednesday of the month, right here in this space. All right, let's give everybody a round of applause. So how many first-timers do we have this month? Got a handful. Welcome. Let's give them a special round of applause, right? Think I heard 3 promotions. Let's give them a round of applause, right? All right. I hope I didn't miss anything. So we're going to jump right in the agenda. We have a full agenda today, and I think Donna's starting us off talking about our Black Mental Health and Wellness Conference.
Good afternoon. First of all, thank you for letting me bump to the top. I have to go to another meeting, but I will be brief. We're about 2 weeks out from the second annual. So let's first applaud the first one. Thank you. It was very successful. It was very well attended. If you went, we had excellent presentations, and we have got wonderful presenters as well. And I want to tell you just a little bit more about it and why we're hosting this again. We've talked about the barriers, the stigmas, and the impact of discrimination and racism on the well-being of Black people, not just in our community, but across the country. And groups and individuals are really doing a wonderful job. There are lots of people that are doing things about mental health and wellness in our community. And we just want to continue to be a part of that and change the narrative around Black mental health, that it's to be expected that if you're struggling, that there not only that you should reach out, but that there are resources available to help you to heal. So, second slide. I want to tell you a little bit more about our keynote speaker, Anjanette Young. She's a licensed clinical social worker in Chicago. We've shown the video a couple of times, and she was the young woman who was traumatized by a break-in in Chicago by the police department, and she recently sued the city of Chicago and won a $2.9 million settlement. But she's speaking about her recovery and about what she's doing to change things. It's just not about, she experienced a trauma, and we all do at some point in time. We experience our own traumas throughout our lifetime. And she took her trauma and turned it into power. And she created the I Am Her Foundation. And this is her website. It's IamHer21.org. Speaking her truth while living on purpose. Now, she's healing people in a very real, tangible way, especially Black women, who are the demographic in America that has probably the lowest level in many aspects, have very, very high incidence of trauma. And her foundation provides support groups, workshops, therapy, and financial support to those who need it the most and who can least afford it. Now, the purchase of one candle from her website pays for one therapy session for a Black woman or girl seeking to heal from life's traumas. So we're going to have a raffle at lunchtime. We are having breakfast and lunch at the conference, and again, this is all free, and I'll tell you about registration in a second. And we're giving away 10 candles and sweatshirts. If you know me and you've done anything with me in the past in terms of planning events, I love giveaways. People always say, why do you love giveaways? Because people love giveaways. People like walking away with stuff. I know that, and you know that. So that directly benefits people, the women in Chicago. So when you come, and if you receive one of these items, you can say to yourself, this is a great thing. I am benefiting somebody to get the help that they need. But if you don't win, you'll probably say, oh, no, I didn't win, but we have another opportunity. Anjanette is going to be there for the day, which is tremendous. So you'll get an opportunity to say hello to her and she'll be at the different sessions. And she's going to be selling her merchandise throughout the day. So come prepared to pay. So if you didn't win something, you can say to yourself, oh, I can go by there and I can buy a candle, I can buy a sweatshirt, and I'm not sure what else she's going to be selling. But you'll have an opportunity again to benefit people directly. Next slide. So these are the sessions and the presenters. And as you can see, I'm going to give you a moment just to look at that. We have got outstanding sessions, and I believe a little bit of something for everyone that attends. I want to highlight just a couple of new ones. Some of those we had last year. Joycelyn Landrum Brown is here. She's going to repeat her Journey of Grief. It was excellent. One of our new ones is Supporting and Strengthening Black Youth Mental Health. Siobhan Brown Walker, Katina Wilcher, and Dante Lotz. These are all people that were involved, some of them are still involved in Unit 4 schools, so they know our community, they know our students and the kind of situations that they get involved in. And this is one that if you're relating or working with young people at all, please sign up to do that. These are all not licensed, but they're all professionals. They're all people that know our community, and they're all familiar with our county. The last slide. So there's a couple of ways you can register. Last month when I was up, somebody said, how do you register? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly. We have some flyers in the back. And that's a site that you can click on the Champaign Community Coalition.org. Is that right, Michael? And you can click on that. You just follow the link, scroll down and follow the link, and then register. So I really appreciate this opportunity to lead this effort again. And I appreciate everybody that came last year and who's been so supportive this year. I've been able to get out to talk to people. I take flyers with me just about wherever I go, and people ask me about it. It's on Facebook. I encourage you to invite your friends, family. If you haven't registered, please do so. And if you have any questions, ask Mikkel or Tracy or anybody that is connected to this conference. So thank you so much for your support in advance. I hope to see you all on the 26th. This is our last public announcement about it. So thank you for your time.
All right, Donna, thank you. So Donna does a great job. As you saw in there with the sessions, there's something for everyone there. So I don't want you to feel, because we talk about Black mental health, that you're not welcome. Please share through your organizations. Please share throughout the community that this is a really important opportunity to talk about mental health and supports and services. So we are at about 100 registers. We're going up to 150. So we encourage you to get yourself registered, because we will shut it off at 150. So. All right. So next we're going to move. As I shared with you, we have these coalition meetings. We're about doing work and putting things in place. We had a group and a panel here to talk about our homeless issues a couple of meetings ago. We will be having our homeless summit. I'll stop there, John, before I tell everything. So John's going to come and talk about it.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name again is John Ruffin, and I am coming briefly to share with you information regarding our upcoming summit to be held in November on the 12th at our Champaign Public Library from 9 to 3. We will be featuring that day a keynote speaker, Christine Haley, Chief Homeless Officer with the state's Illinois Office to Prevent and End Homelessness. This is a great opportunity to learn about all of the different resources that are currently available to support and impact homelessness in our community. As Tracy talked about, the mutual advocacy work of the Community Coalition, it's about bringing all the partners in the community together to respond and learn more about this issue of import in community. And so as we begin to share more and bring more light to the subject of homelessness in our community, we encourage you all to come out and learn more about what's going on as it relates to the services. And so you're all invited on November 12th to come out and learn more about this issue in our community, how you might become engaged and involved as we move forward into the winter months in terms of serving this population. So thank you. You'll be certainly hearing more through the rest of the month.
All right, so November 12th, Champaign Library, we'd love to see you there. We're going to bring Chad up to talk a little bit about Habitat and some of the great work that they're doing in our community. So Chad Huffman from Habitat. Let's give him a round of applause. Come over, get some energy going here.
All right. Thank you, Tracy. I'm surprised I'm here because apparently I ignored a couple emails from Tracy in terms of getting my presentation over and timing, but we made it. We got it put in here, and I'm glad to talk about Habitat. I'm Chad Hoffman with Habitat for Humanity. I've been with Habitat for 6 years. I love it there. I volunteered with Habitat for years before that, and it is a wonderful organization. So there are some things that many of you in the community probably know that we do. Some of the things I hope I share today are things you don't know that we've been involved with. So with that, I'm going to kind of jump to the next slide. I think many people in our community realize that housing is a huge crisis in our community right now. Not only home ownership, there just aren't enough homes for people dreaming of home ownership, but also rental as well. So we're a proponent of increasing those units both for ownership and rental in our community. But what does Habitat actually do? So, yeah, you can go to that other slide. Yep. What do we actually do? Yep. Thank you. Because I thought I had a half an hour, so. We build and sell affordable housing in our community. So we do select homeowners on a yearly basis. This year, we had 183 applicants for 5 homes we'll be building next year. The year before, we had over 200 applicants for the 6 homes we were building. So we have a huge need, a huge dream of home ownership in our community. There just are not enough houses to go around. And that is obviously true for rental, as we talked about, but also home ownership as well. What do? We help our homeowners budget. We help them understand what home ownership means. We have a number of courses that our homeowners are required to participate in, but also they need to put in sweat equity on their homes as well. They have to help build their own homes and help their neighbors build their homes as well. At the end of the day, we don't give the house away. It is a mortgage. It's a zero interest mortgage, which is huge. That's well over $50,000, probably closer to $100,000 based on what interest rates are right now. And we help with down payment assistance, usually anywhere from $10,000 to almost $30,000. Without those aids, the homeowners we place in homes would not be able to afford their homes. In addition, kind of one of our secrets out there, I would say, in the community, although some people obviously know we do this, is our financial education piece. So we do work with our homeowners, but our course series, which just starts tomorrow night, is 9 courses all about home ownership. And those are free to the community as a whole. And we also do counseling for first-time home buyers at our offices, serving over 200 families a year typically. I see the United Way here. I'll give them a shout out. That's a program they support for us and help sponsor so we can provide those services free to anyone in our community. But I can tell you that home ownership is difficult. I've bought 2 houses in my life, sold one, then bought a second one. I didn't fully understand it till I even went through some of the Habitat courses and all that's involved and the knowledge that's really needed. So I think this is a huge valuable resource that we offer. We are the only HUD certified agency in town that has a HUD certified counselor present at currently. So that's a huge add for our banks in our community and those serving low income because they can get an in-person certificate that allows them to really have true training as opposed to doing it online through a national provider. Go ahead and flip to the next one. Who we serve, I talked a little bit about this. I'm just going to skip down to the last one. How do we select our families? Obviously, we do have a mortgage, so you have to be able to pay, so some type of income. Willingness to partner, that means are you willing to do some service hours, and then need. That's always our tiebreaker at Habitat. So those that are most in need are always the ones that are selected as they move into our housing program. It's always a challenging process, and we've had multiple families multiple times apply 2, 3, 4 years in a row before we're able to get them into the house. And we do provide counseling up until that point to make sure we're helping folks get ready to buy a home. Go ahead and flip to the next one. We do believe this. It is working hand in hand. We do believe strongly in growing our community. We are expanding our counseling program. We're actively hiring right now. We think that's huge. We think there's a huge impact we can have beyond just building. And we're also looking to build more houses. Our strategic plan is driving us towards building 10 houses in the near future. So that's very important, that we do add more units to our community as a whole. How do we build? Obviously volunteers. That's kind of one of the secrets. People can come out on our build site. We've had different groups from police departments to cities to banks to whoever come out on our build sites. I think that's transformative for homeowners too, to meet people in the community that they maybe have not seen before, that they have not interacted with, that they know are there to help them build their home. So we're big supporters of that, and usually almost every Saturday through spring through fall, we're building actively. Slows down a little bit in the winter. Our Restore, which we located about 2 years ago, I did speak to this group a couple years ago during COVID, I think. We didn't have ownership of a store. We did rent in downtown Champaign. Now we are at 1914 Glen Park. That hugely supports our housing mission and adding to our units, because as everyone might imagine, building houses is extremely expensive. You can go to the next one. All right. Some of the benefits of housing are beyond just a permanent home, wealth building for the individual in the home, building families. Health outcomes are improved, and I know Carl's seen this, and we've talked to them a little bit about that. School outcomes are improved. High school graduation rates are improved. Interaction with law enforcement decreases, teen pregnancy decreases. All of these things are impacted by home ownership. So if it was just about home ownership, that is the vehicle, but it's more than that, and obviously it improves the community as a whole. More active in their neighborhoods as well for homeowners, of course. Go ahead and flip to the next one. One thing I talked about last time, I was able to talk to this group about three years ago. We really had an opportunity to do some research and some presentations on equity in our community as it relates to home ownership. And this is more recent data. I didn't pull it all because we don't have time for that. But in our community, and I'll specifically point out, Black households make up 12% of our community, but unfortunately, only 6% of home ownership. Go ahead to the next one. We still have an issue with mortgage rejection rate in our community. As you can see, the normal rejection rate for our community is around 20 to 25%. Black households are rejected from bank financing at a 33% rate when you look at the numbers. And then next one. And then when approved for mortgages, Black households are approved for a lower value on their home. So we still have some work to do. This is an area of focus for Habitat, something that I think is troubling for those who haven't seen some of these numbers before, but something that we are dedicated to working towards improving. And just kind of a support slide of how you can be involved with Habitat, obviously volunteering, monetary donations, but just coming into our Restore. For those who don't know, it's a thrift shop. Those funds help us feed our housing mission, but also it provides low-cost items to those in the community that can't afford them potentially, and also keeps a lot of things out of landfills and a huge recycling message as well. So it's important to us to do all of these things at Habitat, but more importantly to be part of the community and love what's going on here and glad to be invited. So I think that's it. Yep. So these are not, except for that top left one, I think all the rest of these, I'm 99% sure are all our families here in Champaign County. So.
See, Chad, you told too much. I usually don't tell all the other stuff, so I would have never said anything about you not responding to my emails. All right. So we're going to at this time, bring our friends from Booker T. Washington Elementary School up. And has our student made it yet? Okay, great. So we'll get you guys next. And so we want to talk about the great things happening under Jackie and Abby's leadership at Booker T. And Kellen's going to get your slides up for you.
Thank you. So again, I am Jackie Teague, and I am the principal at Booker T. Washington STEM Academy, and this is?
I'm Abby Amrosky. I'm the assistant principal at Booker T. Washington this year.
And so we wanted to share what our goals are for the 24-25 school year. So we're looking to improve attendance, growing our academic rigor, building relational capacity, strengthening our community partnerships, and then ensuring consistent practices. So I'm going to let Abby take it over about community partnerships.
So we are looking to really tell everyone that you are all welcome at BTW. We've been working closely with Tracy this year, and we want our community members to know that they are welcome to come to BTW. We're trying to build and focus on the relationship of our students and community members and having them see the important things that you all do in the community. So when they are out and about walking around our school, they have familiar faces and safe people that they can connect with. These are just a few examples of what we've already done. So we have guest readers that we've been working with Tracy closely to get to Booker T. Washington. They will be coming first Friday of every month. So they read a quick book and just interact with the kids. A quick story that I just wanted to share is John is in here, and there were 2 students today that said, "Is he coming back?" I said, "It's not Friday, it's Wednesday. So we'll try again next month." We partnered also with Tracy to do an academic family night where he helped bring the gaming mobile while our parents were getting some PD and academic materials. So the kids were able to do some fun things with Justin, who they were truly inspired by what he did with his truck. And then we've had some other partnerships that people have come in to just do assemblies and represent in a positive way.
So if you have any questions or you're interested in creating a partnership with us at Booker T. Washington, our emails are up here, so just shoot us an email and we will be in touch. So thank you.
And Tracy's kind of been our go-to, so we're working with him through everything, so just he's your first point of contact, and then he will get in contact with us. Thank you.
I think I just got a new job or another job, right? No, seriously, this is really important stuff, right? We all know that we have to invest back into our schools, right? So we're here to talk about BTW today, but all of our schools need us to be involved and supportive and engaged and working with parents so that we strengthen our educational system, but also we reach and connect with our students. And it really is about all of us coming together. We can draw our lines in the sands and pick out issues that we want to not come together on, but really who's impacted by that but our kids and their families. And so we've had just a couple of examples of ways that we all can support local schools. We all should be talking about like school adoption type programs so that an organization X adopts this elementary school or this middle school or this high school, and that's what we want to build on. So the other thing that you saw in one of the first slides, and we've had Dr. Harden is here, but we've had the whole issue around attendance. And James has given that data about students who are missing a day. They miss 2 days a month. How far that puts them behind, right? How if students are coming and they're late and they're tardy, the impact. So we've got to have a whole big, broader conversation about supporting our schools in our community. And so we wanted to let you know some of the great things happening at BTW and get them here today. All right, so we are coming up on election time. over the last couple of weeks, I've had a chance to attend some phenomenal sessions about voting and our election system and, the safeguards that we have against, fraud and, dead people voting and all this stuff that's part of our climate, and it's really unfortunate, right? But the League of Women Voters are here today to talk about voting and everybody voting, and so Ann, and come on up, and our students here with you. I love when we bring our students out to participate in the discussion and talk about what we're doing in our schools to get our kids educated about voting. All right.
Hi, thank you so much, Tracy. Hi, I'm Beth Martin from the League of Women Voters, and we are a nonpartisan dedication here in nationally, but here in Champaign County, dedicated to all things voting. As Tracy said, we have a little election coming up on November 5th. This year is a general election, so we'll be electing our president, our representative in the House of Representatives, U.S. House of Representatives, our Illinois state senators and representatives, Champaign County officials, Champaign board members from each district, and several voting initiatives. So we have an extremely full ballot this year and an extremely important ballot. Next slide. Before voting, you'll want to confirm your voting districts. So to do that, go to the Champaign County clerk site, My Voting Information, and there you'll find out which voting district you're in, and or more importantly, you can view and or download your ballot, which is tailored specifically to your individual voting districts. This will give you an idea ahead of time before you start voting of just who and what you're going to be casting your ballot for. To check out information on just who to vote for, www.votechampaign.org guide is nonpartisan, and it sends out a questionnaire to all candidates in contested races for a particular election. Candidates can return or not. Their answers are posted unedited on the site, as well as any candidate's internet presence, their campaign website, and social media. Illinois makes it very, very easy to vote. We believe in getting all our eligible voters to the polls every single election. To be able to vote, you must be a citizen and 18 years old for this election, November 5th. Illinois provides quite a few ways to vote, so there is very little reason for any of our residents to stay home or refrain from voting. Voting here is available in almost any way you can imagine. We have a robust vote-by-mail program where you can either elect to receive a vote-by-mail ballot for each and every election, so you kind of set it and forget it, and you'll receive your ballot in the mail before each election. Or you can request a vote-by-mail ballot for each individual election. And that is done, again, through the Champaign County clerk site. Ballots currently can be either mailed directly using the envelope that's provided. You can drop it in the mail, or you can drop it currently in the drop box that is located at the Brookins Center. Additional voting drop boxes will open up as additional voting sites open up in the county on October 21st. You can also vote in person early. Currently, you may do so at Brookins. And then on October 21st through November 4th, there are quite a few voting sites throughout the county that will be opening up where you can drop off your ballot in the drop box or vote in person. One wonderful perk of Illinois elections. I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. Oh, we can vote in any polling place in our county. We're not restricted to only our precinct voting location. This may be the most convenient for you, but if you live in Champaign and are shopping in Muhammad or Urbana and you see a voting site, go ahead and vote there and get that important duty out of the way. Additional county and campus locations will be open, as I said before, from October 21st through November 4th. You can also vote the old tried and true way on Election Day, which is November 5th, again at any voting site in the county. One very important perk that our legislature has given all eligible voters, if you have not registered for an election, you can actually register at a voting site and vote the same day. So this opens up voting to absolutely everybody for every election. Next slide. What we'd really like to talk about today is our Student Ambassador Program. It's a program we've been running for several years very successfully in the Champaign County high schools. And each year we have a wonderful group of student ambassadors who attend his or her high school where they are the ambassador. This year we have ambassadors representing 6 schools: Champaign Centennial, Champaign Central, Rantoul, Urbana, Unity, and University High. This year we have grown our crop to 18 wonderful student ambassadors, which we are so proud to have join us. So far this year, they've been busy registering 37 new voters, and they may register anyone who will be 18 on or before Election Day, November 5th. So we have a smaller crop of students that are eligible this year than maybe in past years when we have a whole year to register voters. But since 2022, we have registered over 875 new voters, and most of them do in fact vote. This is very, very important, as study after study has shown that the earlier someone establishes that habit of voting, the more likely they are to become committed voters throughout their lives. Next. Now I'd like to introduce our student ambassador, Eulea Nance. She's from Centennial High School, and she'll be telling us more about the program.
Hi, I'm a student ambassador at Centennial, and last week I went to all of the senior English classes and did a presentation, and we registered 11 seniors at Centennial. And then we also went to a football game. And we updated the addresses there. And yeah. Oh yeah. We also have student ambassadors at Urbana, and they help with it. Thank you.
Next slide. Just one final thing. We have a number of flyers in back for you to take regarding voting and all things voting. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
All right, so important stuff. Let's give our student another round of applause. Thank you for a great job. All right, so each month we have our law enforcement leadership here to update us and talk about law enforcement related things. Yes, thank you. Give them a round of applause.
All right, good evening, good afternoon. Slide, please. Since the last time we met, we've had 2 shootings, one September 5th of this year, 1200 East Michigan, 5 shots fired, no damage, no injuries. September 25th of this year, individual shot himself, self-inflicted, 1 injury. Next slide, please. All right, you all know I'm a data guy, and at any point that you want any, and I do mean any, data, just let me know. But if you ask for it, I'm going to expect an actionable partnership, and that means we work together. All right, so I won't go into every category. In the interest of time, I'll simply tell you violent crime is up by 7%. Property crime is down by 6%. You add the 2 totals, which is called total crime, and we're down by 0.2%. I do want to highlight domestic violence. Although it's down by 2%, there's way too many domestics in Urbana, way too many. And we got to do something about it, folks. I come from a city of relatively 250,000, and percentage-wise, this is really out of the park. So we got to do more than what we've been doing, and that includes PD as well. Next slide, please. So what you'll see is this figure 8. It's consistent. I wanted to be here a year so I can observe the crime trends and see how crime moves. It doesn't move a whole lot. It stays relatively in those 2 circles. I call it the figure 8. What you're looking at is shootings, gun violence. And if you want this information, I'll provide it as well. I know you can't see it, so I'll just read out some of the incidents. Shootings with injuries, there are 10. Shootings without injuries, there's 24. Armed robbery with a firearm, there's 17. Aggravated assault threatened with a firearm, 19. Seized firearms at 43. I always highlight that because anytime we can take a gun off somebody without incident, that bid well for our training. Stolen firearms, there's 16. Recovered firearms, there are 8. Relinquished firearms, there are 47. Pay attention to that figure 8. Next slide, please. Well, there it is again. Okay. Our crime don't move. It stays within those 2 spheres. That's good and bad. Good thing is there's an opportunity to address it, but it takes actionable partnerships, not just police. You ask for this data, I'm going to expect us to work together. Homicide, there's 2. Rape, 16. There aren't any stranger rapes. Robbery, there's 26. Domestic battery, there's 333. Non-fatal shootings is 34. Domestic, non-domestic is 235. Assault and intimidations is 84. Like I said previously, violent crime is up 7%. All right, next slide. And there's that 8 again. I love data, and data will help police departments 3 ways. Manpower. I see Councilman Evans saying no, no, no. We'll never move this needle as long as you say no, no, no. Manpower, technology, community relations. That part is big, community relations. All right, burglary, 36, residential burglary, 59, theft, 290, retail theft, 215, BMVs, 95, motor vehicle theft, 80. Folks, please lock your vehicles up. Property crime is down, as I said previously, 6%. Next slide, please. I want to thank Minnie Pearson for allowing myself and my staff to attend the NAACP Champaign County branch banquet the other night. It was a good look for us to be there in uniform. It was the first time that I know of that we've ever been there. Also, I want to thank Yvonne Miller and Sean Williams for inviting me to A Cry for You this past weekend. Very good program. Very emotional program. Folks, we got to do something about these gun violence to these young people. There's too many intelligent people in this room for us not to be working together to stop that. Me holding this mic every other month for 20 seconds or give or take, that won't get it done. And I know you say, who's this outsider think he is? I'm a man that's passionate about life. And we got to do better than report out. We got to work together. I also want to highlight our clergy patrol that started October 5th. A part of that was when I ran the data. When I run data, I run everything. And I mapped every church. And we are doing clergy patrol in those churches that have the highest crime. They have a role too. And they do good stuff in the community. But sometimes we got to come outside the walls and work together. And lastly, we've already acknowledged Deputy Chief Smizer. I just want to highlight that he recently graduated from the National Police Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Folks, that's nothing to sneeze at. The best and the brightest from all over the world. I didn't say the country, the world go there, they graduate, and I'm looking for great things for him. Thank you. Questions? Questions? Yes, sir.
In the 90s, we had a surge of police. The most police ever been hired was in the 90s, but the crime didn't really go down. So more police ain't making where the crime go down. We got to deal with the people. People need services, and that's where police, the community is the police too. So
Well, I agree with you. That's what I said.
that's what I'm saying. But to hiring more police, it's not going to be the total solution.
So like I said, I come from a city of 250,000, and when we did, and we worked together, crime went down tremendously.
Thank you, Chief Boone.
All right.
Sorry, I got my hand up late. Can you talk a little bit about the domestic violence? Is that adult to adult? Does that include the child abuse incidences as well? Can you just expand a little bit on what the DV covers?
Who are you again? I'm sorry.
Everly Baker with United Way.
So it's mostly adults, and it's repeat offenders, and it's hand, fist, kick, etc. Mostly adults, repeat offenders. There's some locations our officers been to 7 times in a month. I like this. This is how real information get out. Hard questions. It's the beginning of approaching the issue. In the back. Tracy don't want me to do this.
No, we're going to do some intentional police community conversation, so I love it. But that's good for today. Thank you, sir.
tough act to follow there with Chief Boone, but I do want to talk about the. By the way, I'm Deputy Chief Jeff Kuhn, Champaign Police. For those of you that may have came in late, I wanted to talk about some things. I know that we talked about Deputy Chief Smizer and his graduation. We've also had some good news at the Champaign Police Department. Lieutenant Greg Manzano, one of our investigations lieutenants, he recently graduated from Northwestern University's Executive Management Program, which is a program designed for law enforcement executives to help bring back best practices to the community, to the agency, and to the employees. And so right now, Chief Tyler is there. It's a 3-week program, as is Lieutenant Aaron Lack. He's our Northwest District Commander on patrol. So if you're wondering where Chief Tyler is, he's in week 1 of 3, so he'll be there. But he's safe, I promise. Everything's good. He's just getting educated a little bit more. I also wanted to commend Officer Kevin Birch. He was recognized by the Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists, AIM, for his efforts on drunk driving enforcement in 2023. Joe Lamberson in the back of the room, our assistant to the Chief of Police for Community Relations, was a 40 under 40 representative, so congrats to him. Good job, Joe. I'll be at your table at the I Hotel, so looking forward to that. I feel weird talking about this one, but I feel good talking about it because Troy's in the room, but I was recognized. Champaign County Crime Stoppers nominated me for the National Crime Stoppers USA Law Enforcement Coordinator of the Year, so I was very humbled to receive that. Thank you. Troy was my mentor. If you didn't know, before he was the Parkland chief, he was the deputy chief of the Champaign Police Department, so he did that role as a coordinator for a number of years and taught me everything I know and then some, so I tip my hat to him. Lieutenant Greg Manzano, who I mentioned earlier, is going to take over the program. He's already hit the ground running. I have complete confidence in him that he'll continue to build those relationships with the community and local law enforcement. So I do have to talk about 2 incidents of gunfire that left people injured over the last month. Champaign police were dispatched to the 1400 block of Holly Hill Drive at 10:56 p.m. on September 5th for reported shots fired. At 11:18 p.m., a 22-year-old female victim from Champaign arrived at an area hospital by personal transport. She had a non-life-threatening gunshot wound to the torso. Initial investigation indicates the victim was sitting in a vehicle on Holly Hill Drive when altercation in the area escalated to gunfire from a different vehicle in the roadway. The offending vehicle then fled the area. At this time, it's not known if the victim vehicle was the target of the gunfire. There was also property damage to 2 homes and a vehicle in the area. Also, Champaign police investigated a shooting at 300 block of East Bradley Avenue. It occurred at 10:23 p.m. on September 16th. We had a 16-year-old male victim from Urbana. He suffered multiple potentially life-threatening gunshot wounds to his torso. Our officers arrived, as did personnel from Champaign Fire Department, to immediately render medical aid until he could be transported to the area hospital. He's continuing to recover from his injuries. Initial investigation indicates that the teen was walking near Bradley Avenue when shots rang out and he was struck. These investigations remain open. Champaign police are always seeking assistance from the community for any details. Call the Champaign Police Department, 217-351-4545. Contact Crime Stoppers either through 373-TIPS or our website, 373tips.org. Sorry, I use the app. It's P3TIPS, free on Android and iOS. Since it's Crime Prevention Month, I know we spend a lot of time communicating about what we're seeing in the community, but rarely do we have time to talk about prevention. As Chief Boone talked about earlier, simple phrase, lock it, hide it, keep it. It's an easy way to keep your vehicle from getting burglarized, keep packages from getting stolen off your porch. Obviously, scam safety, we're seeing a lot of that nowadays. Simple things like just do not give out any kind of personal information, payment information to random callers. I've heard people are using AI now to replicate voices of family members, so if it just doesn't sound right, don't go for it. Don't buy any gift cards for anybody you don't know. I always say that. Also, as far as resources go, we do give away gun locks at the Champaign Police Department, as well as steering wheel locks for any Hyundai and Kia owners, free of charge, 24/7. Just need to come to the front desk and request it. And other than that, I just want to thank everybody for being here today and allowing me to speak and continue partnership with our agency. Thank you.
Again, I'm Captain Barb Robbins with the University of Illinois Police Department, and I am filling in today for Chief Ballinger, who was double booked. So also for the women voters, I have already voted. I did the vote by mail. When I was filling out my mom, she's 85, I filled it out. I'm like, this seems like a good deal. I think I'll do it myself. And I got it, and I voted, and it's already in the ballot box. So thank you for all that you do to educate and get our young people involved in that. Very important. So some good news coming out of UIPD, and this seems like a good venue to say that we're in the process of hiring 3 more officers for our department. We are currently at 73 officers. We are getting ready to staff up our Information Crime Center, which I'm assuming Chief Ballinger has talked about that a few times. So we have manager jobs open that have posted on jobs at illinois.com. And we have analysts, so if you know people who are good with numbers, who can do what Chief Boone likes to talk about, that's the kind of people we need to do analysis. So we have those jobs opening. We are hiring security guards, and we are hiring community service officers. And why I mention this is there's just so much more to our police department, as with anybody's police department. It's really our non-sworn staff that help us do our job. Our security guards are walking through our buildings, they're unarmed. Our community service officers are taking low-level police reports, they are unarmed. They have police radios with them, and they are just really an extra set of eyes and ears that are in our campus buildings and around our campus and in our hot spot, which right now we're dealing with a lot of complaints about our homeless, unhoused folks that are hanging out on Green Street, asking for money. That's not the problem. It's usually when they get the money and then they become intoxicated, they get a little bit unruly, and sometimes say and do things they probably shouldn't. But those are some of the things that our non-sworn can help us with. We also had a good case that we worked with Urbana Police Department. We had a serial rapist who was also groping people on campus and on Green Street. So with U of I assisted Urbana, and we made that arrest, which was a very big win for all of us in the community. We had a Metro team, so that's our something like equivalent to SWAT, where all of the police departments worked together and they did a search warrant on a house, and they got several automatic weapons, which also is a big win. As Chief Boone talks about gun safety and gun violence, I mean, that's a big win to get some of that off of the street. Some of our biggest crimes here for us are, it's a crime and it affects our students, faculty, and staff. We've had a big rash of e-scooters being taken and unlocked. Shanice Cooper, our juvenile engagement officer, has been doing a great job working with the juveniles and their families as some of these individuals get caught. They're not taking the e-scooters to go and turn around and sell. They're taking them and they ride around and they're dumping them in people's yards all over the community. So we've been working hard on that. We've been working with some of the community as far as how to help our homeless, unhoused folks on Green Street. And so we've been reaching out to other community partners to kind of help us deal with some of those issues that are impacting our campus. Some other exciting fun stuff would be that we're having pizza with police on November 11th from 1 to 3. It's going to be at the Liberal Arts and Science Building. And Debo, if you could raise your hand, Debo and Shanice, they will be there. And then we have another community event that Dementro's team is working on. They are implementing a robust DEI workshop at Oakwood Elementary School on the effects of bullying in November. And so if you would like any information on that, you would like to attend or get a hold of Dementro, you can get him at email address dementro@illinois.edu if you have any other further questions or want to participate in anything else. That is what I have today, as this is my first meeting. And do you have any questions? I like it. I like it. All right.
Good afternoon. Troy Daniels from Parkland College Police. I just want to make a comment on Jeff Coon's award. When I was fortunate to be able to turn over the reins to him for Champaign County Crime Stoppers, he's done a fantastic job over. He's getting ready to retire, and he just passed the baton to another lieutenant that I'm sure you'll be meeting sometime soon. But this award he won, the Crime Stopper USA Coordinator of the Year, Law Enforcement Coordinator of the Year. There have been many, many thousands of coordinators around the country. He is many hundreds right now, and he was the one that was recognized. So I appreciate all the work he's done for our county through that organization. Last weekend, we had the Faith in Blue event at Parkland College, where we had some churches, law enforcement representatives from throughout Champaign County. We even had some firemen out there. They took some time out to come see us. And we built relationships between the community, police department, and the churches. It was a very nice event, perfect weather, and we heard some good singing from Audrey. So. Excellent singing. There's an exciting event coming up on Saturday, October 26th at Parkland, and I really hope that a number of organizations try to take part in this. It's called Trunk or Treat. We did it a couple years ago, and I think we had close to 2,000 people that came out. There were hundreds and hundreds of kids that came out in their costumes. And so if your organization could decorate up to 5 trunks, make sure you bring lots of candy. There are a lot of different ways to help with this. Candy donations, decorate trunks with your organizations, monetary donations, or just promote this event through your ability to promote through your systems. We would appreciate it, because we believe there's going to be a lot of kids that are going to come out to that event. Also, this is the perfect time. There is an informational sheet that's on the back table to get information. And if you want to take part, I'm going to give you a phone number, 766-8335. 766-8335. But you can get that information there, or just reach out to me and I'll set you up. Now is the perfect time to apply to be a full-time telecommunicator or a part-time telecommunicator at Parkland. You go to Parkland Jobs and look it up, but we are getting ready to hire in the next couple weeks, get the applications in for anyone who may need a job. All right. It's a good way to get introduced to what law enforcement's like. So, thank you.
Troy, I think that's cool that Jeff still claims you're a mentor, and he says that publicly. Yeah. All right, so we're going to bring Michelle Morrison up to talk about some youth survey work that we're doing that we need your help in participating and getting information.
Hi, everybody. Hello. I believe I'm your last presenter, so home stretch. So I'm an intern. I'm an intern just this semester. So I started in August, and it's been really amazing to get dropped into the work that that this group is doing, and that's amazing. So one of the things that I've been able to work with is the Campus Community Compact to Accelerate Social Justice Youth Area Survey, which is a long title but a cool project. So this came out of, you can go to the next slide. This came out of some of the coalition meetings last spring, which some of you may have been here for. There were some youth panel discussions, and out of those discussions that I've heard were really amazing, that the co-chairs for the community engagement focus with the coalition started discussing what next steps they wanted to take and how they wanted to continue the work that had come out of those discussions. So those people were Tracy, Bev from the United Way, Steve Anderson, and Bob Flinder from the Campus Community Compact. So they really wanted to keep that momentum going and see what needed to be done next. So them, along with a group of other community partners, decided that a survey would be a really great thing to do to kind of get broader perspectives from the broader community of youth in our area. And that is kind of where I got to jump into the project. You can go to the next slide. So these are our basic goals, are to get that kind of youth voice and perspective, kind of a broad one with the survey. And then we would hope that what we get from the survey would then inform some focus groups to kind of dig deeper into some of those topics and the things that come up from the surveys. And then that all of that information eventually informs programming and efforts that we do through the coalition. Next slide, please. Thank you. So just a little bit about the actual survey. So it was developed with guidance from these co-chairs, and the community partners all got together and talked about what would work. The survey asks about challenges, youth experiences in the communities, activities that they have outside of school, things they do in their life outside of school, opportunities, and then future goals, kind of what kids are looking forward to. So those are kind of the broad topics. It's about 25 questions. And then you can do the next slide, Kellen, thanks. So the way that we're administering it for now is we are working with community partners, specifically in this group, that work with youth often, for instance, like the Boys and Girls Club, who are going to administer it. But we would like to get as broad of a perspective as we can. So if you or your organization works with youth, we would love to have you help us do that. We have on the back table, we have paper copies that you're welcome to take and copy. If you do take one, there's also a page that kind of has instructions, not bossy ones, but just to help you figure out how to do that. There's also an electronic version, so this QR code will take you to that. Or you can also email me, michelle.morrison@champaignillinois.gov, and I'd be happy to help you with that. So that if you want to help with that, let me know. Thank you so much.
All right, so we've been talking about the importance of really hearing from our youth about needs, wants. So that survey is really, really important data. We want it to be youth-led and youth-driven. And okay, please participate. All right, we got a couple of information sharing things. I know Michelle from Rosecrans. Okay, now we want to talk about Narcan in the back of the room.
He has to give me the cue. Sorry, I missed my cue earlier. But there's Narcan, free, available on the back table. Take as much as you need. You can reverse an opiate overdose with that. Everyone should have it in their first aid kit. So.
And they can get you more if it's needed.
Good afternoon. I'll make this quick. We are actually hosting a Stories of Resilience with Ryan Leaf. If anybody is familiar with him or not, some people automatically recognize. He was a Heisman Trophy contender and then was in the NFL and then struggled with substance use. He will be our guest speaker for that night. It's going to be on November 4th at the iHotel. There'll be a light supper, and this is also a fundraiser. Now, Rosecrans is a not-for-profit, so most of the funds that we do raise will go towards a fund to offset the cost for individuals that have no payer scores so that they can have access to services. So this is an opportunity to get to know Rosecrans, so we'd like to welcome any of you. If you'd like to attend, you'd be more than welcome to have us. And I have information on the table if you're looking for a little more information on the night. Thank you.
We're halfway through Fire Prevention Week, and the theme is Smoke Alarms Make Them Work for You. The Champaign Fire Department will host an event at the Champaign County Historical Society at University and First from 10 to 2 on Saturday, the 12th. I would just encourage you to go home, check your smoke alarms, talk about them with your neighbors, with your kids, talk about exit drills, any place you're at in the community, and hope to see you Saturday.
Before the next meeting will happen, Christmas is coming, talking about kids. If your organization gets asked about helping with Christmas or who helps with Christmas at the Salvation Army, our signups will start November 4th. It'll be that week. If you are not on the list, we haven't sent out the flyer of what's going to be required, but you want that information, I can give you my cell phone number, email, whatever, after we're done. But it'll be the week of the 4th, which is the week before we meet again here. So that information will be coming out very, very shortly to the community. Robin Mathis, if you don't recognize the name, or if you do recognize the name, she will be sending it, but if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but folks need help for Christmas in your atmosphere, and you want to refer them to the Salvation Army, but don't know when or whatever, get my email, get my phone number, I'll give it to you. I'll be around after.
Martell, you get to, got a couple of hands popping up. All right, real quick, please.
All right. We have a winter coat drive every year, and we want winter like gloves, scarves, some more like boots that don't have my wore out. But in the last 6 years, I've gave away about 3,000 coats, gloves, and stuff. You can drop them off at Cunningham Township, or you can call my phone number. It's easy to ask anybody. Everybody got us 217-480-1332.
So I'm with Catch My Thrift, and we're doing 3 community clothing swaps leading up from now until Christmas. We'll do one in Rantoul, one in Danville, and then the last one will be in Champaign at Lincoln Square Mall. So it's pretty much a free community clothing event. I partnered with Salt and Light to make sure that we have something for all age groups and demographics. So if you ever want to donate anything, you can drop it off at Catch My Thrift inside Lincoln Square Mall. Or if you're interested in sponsoring a swap, I'll have more information on that probably next week.
This is why I love our community, y'all. It's just happening stuff.
Thanks, Tracy. Again, I'm here from Races, so I just wanted to extend an offer, especially to our law enforcement partners, as you're getting more reports of sexual assaults. Just a reminder, you can always call us. Our hotline number is 217-384-4444, and we can send advocates out. During the day, it's very easy for us to get an advocate over to meet with the survivor at the police department. We do have advocates who are on call overnight who primarily respond to the emergency department, but we'd be happy to come out and meet with folks too. We're very grateful that Urbana's police department had us come out and do a short training with their officers to make sure that they knew about the referral process. And so I just extend that offer to any of our other police departments to make sure that we're really clear in terms of making sure that survivors of sexual violence and stalking have access to confidential support.
All right. So I've heard some really good things today. We're going to look to have some police community conversation coming up. We've got our homeless summit coming up. We've got voting, youth surveys. So just once again, thank you everyone for all that you do and make our community be the best. See you next month.